As a melanoma skin cancer survivor myself,
just wanted to say a very special thank you to everybody.
It's been a little while since I have shared a melanoma skin cancer diagnosis story with you. I'm not sure what happened, why I stopped doing these. If you would like to share your melanoma diagnosis story with me or any skin cancer diagnosis story with me, please email me at this email address on the screen and let's chat about how you can share your story on my channel. As a melanoma skin cancer survivor myself, it is very important to share our stories, not just for our own benefit, but also for the benefit of those who are newly diagnosed. It helps all of us to feel less alone and more of a community, in my opinion. Hi, I'm Sean, Melanoma Mom here. Subscribe for more stories like this. I also do a lot of sunscreen reviews. I was diagnosed with melanoma skin cancer in 2021 and I am currently cancer-free. Today's story features Holly Rowe, who is an ESPN reporter. And Holly's story goes back to 2015, where she was initially diagnosed with a stage 3 desmoplastic melanoma. From what I gather from my research, it is a rare form of melanoma that originates in the nerves. However, hers first presented itself as a spot on her chest. Now, as an ESPN reporter, she spends 75% of her job outside interviewing sports athletes, and her chest is typically exposed. She also has a history of tanning in tanning beds to get that tan to look good. Now, she found this spot on her chest in 2015 that she thought was a previous biopsied spot that had come back as negative for skin cancer. What she thought was a little scar kept continuously getting bigger and bigger, so she went to have it biopsied again. And honestly, she says, as it was getting raised, it was just looking uglier and uglier, and as a person on television, her chest was front and center in her interviews, and for cosmetic reasons, she wanted it removed. So when she was walking through the streets of New York City one day, she received the phone call from her doctor. She was not expecting bad news because she thought it was a scar. When her doctor told her that it was stage 3 melanoma, she stopped dead in her tracks in the middle of New York City, busy street, and said, "Excuse me? What?" in disbelief. Cancer? No, 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 no. It's just a scar. It was a previously negative spot. It can't be cancer. It later then began metastasizing in her lungs, and her doctors told her that she had a 22% survival rate. So her world turned upside down. She went in for surgery. She was still working for ESPN through all of this. She had no plans of telling, not even her bosses, nobody. She had no plans of telling anybody that she had melanoma skin cancer. She thought it would just be a simple, we'll remove it and it'll be done. But as she was in the hospital and her nurses and doctors and everybody was prepping her for this surgery, people started recognizing her from ESPN and asking who she was. So she thought, well, maybe I should just send my PR rep a text, just letting them know I'm in surgery, just in case word gets out. I don't want anybody making a big deal of it. So she texted her rep, "Hey, I'm having surgery today for cancer removal. No big deal. I'm still working. Just thought you should know." So she went in for her surgery to have it removed. When she came back out, she turned on the TV on ESPN because she's still working. This is a busy woman who is not going to let cancer stop her. And of course, scrolling at the bottom, she sees her text to her PR rep. And at first she said she was very surprised and taken aback because this was not something that she felt was a big deal. She wasn't going to announce it to the world. It's her personal business. She said it was pretty neat though that millions of people came around and supported her through her cancer diagnosis and surgeries.
Just wanted to say a very special thank you to everybody. I could not have gotten through this without all of the prayer and encouragement from everyone, my family, my friends, my colleagues, my bosses at ESPN, V Foundation, my doctors at UCLA Med Center, my nurses in oncology, and fans, athletes, coaches, administrators. I have felt so loved and supported.
And then what turned into her chemotherapy and her immunotherapy treatments, she had a huge crowd of support. She did end up having chemotherapy and immunotherapy treatments. She said she picked the most aggressive one she could get. The immunotherapy was not even FDA approved at the time, but she said that all of her doctors advised her to approach melanoma aggressively, especially because she had stage 4. Melanoma skin cancer is not a cancer that you can just remove it and then that's the end of it. Once it has entered your body, it's very aggressive. Like Rowe previously said, she was told she had a 22% survival rate and aggressive treatments were necessary. And her advice to other people diagnosed with melanoma is to pick the most aggressive forms of treatment, despite the side effects. And she did have side effects and still continues to have side effects today. Now, her response following her treatments is no tan is worth it, she says. She notices fans in the stands. There's a street sweeper outside. This is JoJo. Say hi. Holly says that no tan is worth it, even if you're trying to look good. She says she notices fans in the stands all the time, just burning under the sun, getting sunburns, turning red, and she wishes she could yell at people to put sunscreen on and to also cover up. These days, you'll find Holly fully clothed. And any exposing skin, she has sunscreen on, and even her part line of her hair. She says she doesn't like to put a lot of chemicals on her body because she put a lot of chemicals in her body that weren't good for her, that did get rid of the melanoma. So she tries to use as much clothing as possible to cover up rather than relying solely on sunscreen. She says, and I quote, "I mean, it's not sexy. I go to the beach and I'm like, here I am, covered from head to toe, but I know I'm not going to die from melanoma, so that is the trade-off." This is totally relatable for those who have had melanoma skin cancer. Same. I go to the pool and I'm completely covered up and I'm like, so not sexy. But she's right. The trade-off isn't worth it. Be sun smart is her message. Just wanting a tan to look good is not worth the risk of cancer and the side effects of melanoma treatments. Now, she's never stopped working through all of her treatments, and she says she recognizes that that is crazy behavior, that she possibly should have slowed down, but she didn't stop working because it took her mind off of her cancer treatments. But she did find that it was very difficult to talk to family members about her side effects and about her cancer because honestly it scared them. And those of us who have had cancer, any form of cancer, I think we can relate to this, that we don't want to scare our friends and family, and that it's a good idea to find someone who has been through what we have been through to talk with. And that's why this community here on the Melanoma Mom channel is so important to me. This is the place where I talk about the things about cancer that scare me and that y'all can relate to. Holly also gives the advice that even though she didn't stop working throughout her cancer treatments, is she set small goals for herself that were attainable, that helped her feel like she was accomplishing things so that she didn't have to focus on her future goals. Some of her goals were to learn how to play the piano, start a band, travel more. She did all of those things, which is amazing and so inspirational. She also started a joy journal where she woke up every morning and she wrote down the thing that she was most joyful for that day. She wanted to live and not focus on how her body might be dying. In another article, she says her advice to everyone is, when in doubt, get it checked out. Stop procrastinating. If you are watching this video, I am the worst of procrastinators. Don't be a procrastinator. If you have a spot that is worrisome on you, schedule an appointment with a dermatologist for a full body skin check. Get that spot checked out. Schedule that appointment today. According to Women's Health Online article that interviewed Holly, she is cancer-free currently in 2024, and she gets scans every 6 months to confirm that she is still cancer-free. She still experiences joint pain from the chemo and lipedema from her lymph nodes being removed, which is swelling. Lipedema is a pretty serious side effect. I also learned that she leads a nonprofit organization based off of her joy journal called Joy Plus Us. And she created it to help spark joy in the lives of others. She's currently in the process of choosing a scholarship winner for her first Joy Plus US project, or Joy Plus Us, the Alex Wilcox Memorial Scholarship. Holly created it in honor of former Mississippi State softball player Alex Wilcox, who passed away from ovarian cancer in 2018. The scholarship will be awarding funds to a young softball player whose life has been affected by cancer. So in summary, Holly's life was completely upended when she was diagnosed with melanoma. She worked through her entire cancer treatments. She is now cancer-free, but those of us with cancer know that it's not completely cancer-free. It is no evidence of disease, NED. And it's still important to maintain those scans every 6 months, even if you were diagnosed like I was with a melanoma stage 1B, a surface level melanoma. I still am required to get full body skin checks every 6 months. So unfortunately, melanoma is not a one and done cured cancer. It is an ongoing process of maintaining and making sure, staying ahead and being proactive that that cancer does not return. Today is a great day to wear sunscreen and also get a skin cancer check. I'll see you in the next one.